So now we're looking at block and inline elements. So block level and inline elements. Now for the block level elements, this element that starts with a new line. For example, if you are using that heading 1, that H1 is usually with a new line. Also, if you want to start with listing OLI or OL or UL or with table, we need to use new line, as in it's always pertain to always new lines. That is what block level element is. Now for the inline element, the inline element is talking about, for instance, if you're writing a sentence, I want to change one particular letter or want to edit something inside within that one line of sentence, then that's what you need the inline element for. So example of inline elements are bold, strong, even image too. So for this time we want to focus on some aspect of the block, like the block level elements, which is the div tag, the div, while the next one, the inline elements, want to focus on one tag named span. So I will explain how each of them is. Now for the block level elements, so which is for the div tag, let's see how it's being applied. So let's take, for instance, now I'm writing a random text. Let me write an heading first, and that is H1. Let me just name it as headline. Okay, now the next one, I want to introduce the div tag. Now the div just kind of like divide. If you notice, each web page is usually in form of a box. So each section in a website is usually in form of a box. So this div is just like a box of its own, kind of like a container that has many things inside it. So I've just introduced the div tag. Let me close it. Just for you to see it clearly, I'll need to add some features to it so you'll be able to see the box itself. So for us to add feature, I need to put some color to it. So I will introduce this style word. So this style attributes. Actually, it's better to use CSS for this, but since we are doing HTML, I will need to do it in following HTML format. But later on, you will use CSS in case you want to do it next time. You understand? This is just for this aspect of HTML purpose. So let me introduce a background color. So the background color, let's use let me use green. Okay, so that means the box will be in green color. And let's make a padding. Padding means like the size of, like, kind of like the container of that box. So padding would be, so it should be within this style. Everything here should be within this style. So padding should be, let's just use 20 pixels as the padding. So 20 pixels, and let's add color. Now this color will be for the text color itself. So the text color, let's make the text color white so we can see it. Since the background color is green, if the text color is white, so we can easily view that one easily. Okay, now within this box, we just created the box. Now let me just input some write-ups within it. So let me say this is, let me use heading 3 here. So this is a heading in a div elements. And let me put another code, and this is some text in a div elements. So let me save this Ctrl S. So let's check how it looks like now. Let me refresh the page. So this is a heading in a div element. This is some text in a div element. I am expecting the color to show you. Let's check. I think there must be a mistake somewhere. Background color green. Okay, each of them actually should be divided, as in should be broken down with this semicolon. So semicolon, yes, semicolon here. Okay, even this, the last part here, the color, leave a semicolon with it. So let me save this and let's reload the page again. So yeah, that's it. You can see this whole box here is the section of this part. So anything you write within this section falls within this box. So that is what div elements is. You can put several sections of different boxes and as all of them will have within themselves different elements or things you can customize with it. So like I said again, the background color, that's the color you see, the green. The padding is this height here, like this, of this box. So if you increase it to be large, if you reduce it to be small, so it just depends on your taste. Why the color specified for the right top this sentence within this box. Now if you notice, well, if you remember in the previous video, when we want to use background color, we wrote bg color equal to the color. But if you notice, when we did that stuff for the table, we didn't use this style. So this style is specially for CSS. So if you want to use CSS format, you have to write this style, and this is the format you'll be using. You write the background color in full and put the color and put the semicolon. If you want to put padding, put the padding in full and put the semicolon. If you want to add color to it, there's right color. So just follow this pattern like that. Then if you want to do it directly in that one, like background color, just write bg color equal to that one alone. Put padding equal to that one alone. So that kind of thing. So that's just it for this aspect of div. Now let's look at span. Let me go away from this div element. Now going to span. Let me break one line. Now for the span aspect, span is just like a text within itself. So let's say I write, for instance, let me use heading 2. I want to write some important text, okay, but now that's important. I want to put some features inside that important. So I will say span. So this is the important, so some important message. So the major text here is some important message. Okay, that's the heading. That's the heading 2. Some important message. But now this important, I want to customize it specially within the same line, which is an inline element. Remember, so this one is an inline element. So I want to focus on this important. I want to change it to something. Maybe I want to customize this in some way. So for me to customize it, let me see how to make this important in particular color red. So I'll go to this span part. Introduce the style equal to, then put your color. I want to use color red. So you can see red as shown. So that's it. Let me save, Ctrl S. So let's view the page. Reload. So you can see now some important text. So this is an inline text because it's within the same line. It didn't start with this important, it didn't start with another line. So I just customize this one alone. While for the aspect of div, the div is like a box, like a section within. You get, so that's just it. So apart from this span, you know, there are different things you can use too. The reason it is actually bold, if you notice, this is bold because of using H2. Remember, heading is usually in a bold format. If I use P, that is paragraph. I'll change this other place, the closing target to P. Ctrl S. Let's reload the page. You can see this is a normal plain text. Okay. And if I want to make this important itself bold, probably I don't want to style it or color it anyway. So apart from span, another inline element is bold, strong. So that for bold you introduce B. So the closing tag B. So let me save this and reload. You can see some important message. I think the message 2 is bold. Some important message. Okay, I didn't close the bold tag. So we save. So some important message. So let's reload the page again. Okay, so that's it, some important message. So that's just how, that's what is talking about the block and inline elements. So this is the block elements. Div is a block element. It's not only div anyway, like h1 is also a block element, since it pertains to always starting with a new line. Form too is a block element. Table, yeah, starting with a new line. When we're talking about inline elements, you want to change something that is within a sentence. Okay, something that is within the sentence. Let me just add one more example here. Paragraph: my mother has, let me introduce the span. Okay, blue. Later I will customize that blue itself. So as blue eyes, as another span. Inside the span, let me put this one as eyes. Okay, purple eyes. So now I want to focus on this blue and this purple. So for this blue, I want to customize the blue. So to customize this blue part now, I will introduce the style. Okay, and the color I want to use, this color I want to use, then I will now put the color. That's, I want to use color blue. You can also choose to put the font weight, that is the weight of the color, which is this blue. So instead of using that bold, you can see we use bold here because we have to clean that style for us to use this B. So for us to use bold within this style per se, which is this CSS, you have to introduce something we call font weight. So that is font weight. Then you write bold, BOLD. So that is bold. And let me repeat it for this other one too, for this purple. So introduce the style again. Introduce the style. So color. So the color for this one is purple. We're going to use for the color. So style. Oh, sorry, it should be equal to. Style equal to color, then semicolon. The next one you want to put an answer, which is the font weight. Okay, the font weight, and we want to use bold also, which is the BOLD, yeah, bold. So that's it for that region, and you can swap to this side so you can see it clearly. Go back like this. So let me save this, Ctrl S, reload this page. You can see my mother has blue eyes and my father has purple eyes. So you can see the blue is color blue, purple is color purple, still within this inline, within this part alone. So that is how to use this inline tags. If you notice this code, the length is kind of much here like this. Okay, so you can still choose to break it, like it won't really affect the coding. So if you click somewhere, maybe anywhere, click enter, it's just like a continuation, in as much as you are not using this break tag per se. If you use the break tag, then it will take it to the new line. If you don't use the break tag, to just still be within this region as it is like this. So even if I save this, I've saved it now, if I reload it, it still show the same way it is. You can see it didn't change or affect this stuff in any way. So that's it for this section.